Hello and welcome to Work to Game. My name is Brian, and we're going into the world of Temtem and answering the question, is this game safe for kids? And just to jump out and answer that right away, currently, right now, this is a perfect game for kids and adults. But we're going to go over our chat settings and more, and this is obviously running off of the 5.8 build, so be sure to check out the channel. We'll keep you up to date on the state of Temtem and its relative updates. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we hope to see you back here for more Temtem news and development. I personally am a father and I love this game. My kids love this game, but there's things that you need to know as a parent or somebody who's considering maybe letting their kids play this game. And first and foremost, obviously the comparison is drawn into Pokemon. Now with the Pokemon game, I've been playing that with my kids as well. But I can tell you right now, Temtem is not Pokemon. It is way more advanced. It offers way more depth. And in fact, it can be even considered way more difficult than Pokemon. So just kind of gauge that when you're considering getting your kids into that. Personally, I would recommend, especially right now, if they are looking for a new game, this is a perfect time to jump in because of the reduction of cost. The cost for this game is going to keep going up with every big update that they make, so you can jump in now, kind of test it out, and play later. Now, over the course of the year, if you come in much later, you will be paying full price for this game. The game will also be available on Xbox, Switch, PC, PS4, everything that you could think of pretty much under the sun. So you're going to have lots of opportunity to play this game, and that's why as a parent, I'm both excited and concerned, because another main difference that this game has is it's online. Now, currently in the game, the online chat is disabled. If I go into settings, you can say display chat. But what Temtem currently does not offer, and nor am I expecting it to offer it today, is more parental control features. So note right now with 5.8 a very distinct lack of parental controls, so that way you can keep your kids safe online. But display chat is not able to be turned on. They have currently disabled that, and at some point you can easily see that coming back. So if you're diving into this video much later and you're wondering how you can turn off text chat in an online MMO, be sure to go into your settings under game and you see your display chat setting to turn that off. That's going to be one level of interaction. The other piece you have here is that under players and under interact, you can see and basically message and whisper other players and do various trades, battles, and more. You can even friend them. I want to bring this to your attention because, again, with the lack of parental controls, I would prefer that you as a parent have full control over who your kids are interacting with online. Now, the other side of this game is that it is a depth-filled game. It's an always online MMORPG that offers a lot of depth when it comes to just the battle system and to the trading system and especially to the breeding system. Now currently in the game, for everybody, players of all ages, there are 3 islands in the game out of a total of 6. So over the course of this year, you're going to see 3 more islands come into play. Currently, there's over 20 hours of gameplay and story, over 80 Temtem to collect, with the goal of making that over 161 with 3 mythical Temtem here in the near future. You obviously have your player versus player, your trading, and your full co-op with the game right now. Coming, they have rank matching, auction houses, clubs, housing, an arcade bar, a Nuzlocke game mode. If you guys don't know what that is, that's like an ultra hard version in which there are specific rules that are set out. So it's really exciting to see them build that into the game itself, as opposed to in traditional Pokemon senses, you end up having to kind of instill it on yourself. They, like I said, 3 mystical Pokemon, in-game tournaments, Steam achievements, cards, and more. So you can expect that this is going to happen over the course of the next year, and that's why we don't see parental controls on this. So again, like I said, I'm going to be bringing you guys any and all updates when it comes down to how this game is going to interact with a wide variety. Pokemon, Temtem, it appeals to a massive amount of people, young and old. Playing this game with my kids, they're thrilled. It has that whole monster catching mechanic and battling, and obviously the visual style is very appealing to people of all ages. So that's why I really felt the necessity of kind of sitting down and talking to y'all as parents today, letting you know that I think this game is perfectly safe, but that doesn't mean it's always going to be that case. And like I said, the other part of the conversation is, what does this game have to do for endgame? What does this have to do for me as a parent and a gamer who likes to play and have a little bit more depth rather than just kind of a named story? What's going to keep me playing this game for months, if not for longer? Well, namely, it's the fact that I can play this game with my kids, hands down. Second is the breeding and the endgame content that there currently exists and that is coming. The in-depth breeding system and how you're trying to collect and breed the best forms of fighting to make you the most competitive has my mind just going crazy. It is literally one of the coolest systems that I've seen, and I'm so excited because of the online nature to be able to go and try to get that and breed that perfect Temtem. And why we plan on doing in-depth guides regarding breeding, money making, and more here on the channel. Our passion for this game is just growing by the day. Now, I want to highlight here for you guys this Temtem that I caught and talk to you about what it means to have perfect SV rolls, as well as how this relates to the breeding system, especially when it relates to Lumas. So for the in-depth player right here, you can see I've got a 50. SVs are your kind of weighted stats. What this is going to roll is between 1 and 50. You can see I got a nice little 1 here, and I got a 50 here. 50 is colored in blue, and when it starts to get higher, it's colored in green, thus meaning it's a higher roll. That means that as I level it up, the values on my main attacks are going to increase as well. That's really, really important. Now, some of this stuff can be affected by food and more, especially as it relates to TVs. But again, like I said, we'll be doing a more in-depth breeding and breeding guide in the near future. So how this relates to you as an adult gamer enjoying this game, it's all about collecting as many of these Temtem as possible and trying and hopefully breeding the perfect Temtem with SVs. A Luma, which has a 1 in 6,000 chance. That's like if you really want to go Luma hunting, tip of the hat to you. Not only do they look different, but they're guaranteed to have 2 perfect rolls in their SV category. This can affect breeding. This can affect the amount of times you can breed that specific Temtem. But what you're looking for is to capture enough of them and using items so that as their offspring, they start getting more and more of these perfect rolls so that when you go and finally get that perfect SV build, you can then level it up and really dominate the competitive scene. That's going to be a big draw for a lot of hardcore players like myself and probably you, if you're still watching this guide, to hopefully kind of give you a lot of depth. Plus, there's also going to be more content coming down the road. And honestly, the future for this game could be very bright. It all really depends. Anyway, I just really want to highlight that piece because personally for me, it speaks to something really interesting. You get to go out and collect a lot of these Temtem. That ends up being a lot of fun. You get to try to build out that perfect team. You can play this with your kids and then they can have fun as well. And the fact that you can do co-op and you can play it together will hopefully help offset some of the difficulty that they might have depending on their age. However, the game is very inviting, but it is way more challenging than what you would say a typical Pokemon game would be. Ultimately, my concerns as a parent are in text chat and in communication. The fact this is an online game and not everybody has the best intentions. So just always be aware when it comes to online games and your kids and the controls over those, and also advocate with the developers that we can hopefully get some more parental controls in this game, especially as it gets ready to launch on other platforms later this year or early next. Like I said, my name is Brian. We're going to be keeping you guys up to date. If you have any questions, any comments, concerns, sound off in the comments below. I hope you hit that subscribe button if you feel like I've earned your subscription, and we'll try to keep you up to date on all things Temtem as it relates to breeding, battling, collecting, and hopefully having a great time for you and your family. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have an incredible day, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.